Not a whole lot of it, but it's doing all right. Up 150 for the Dow and up nearly 100 points on the Nasdaq Composite. Now, the Justice Department says Boeing violated a 2021 settlement that protected them from criminal charges tied to the deadly MAX jet crashes. Grady Trimble here. When you talk criminal charges, that really ups the ante, doesn't it?
It definitely does. So Boeing could face criminal charges related to those crashes back in 2018 and 2019, but also any other criminal wrongdoing that the DOJ may be aware of. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though, because Boeing gets a chance to respond. They have to do that by mid-June, and then the Justice Department will make a decision on how to proceed by July 7th. That deal Boeing struck with the DOJ, it was to avoid prosecution after those crashes. And by the way, it was set to expire just days after the door plug blew off that Alaska Airlines flight. The DOJ says Boeing failed to design, implement, and enforce a compliance and ethics program to prevent fraud violations. In its response to me, Boeing says that they have honored the agreement and they look forward to defending themselves.
But a criminal accusation?
Could happen.
That's a very different thing.
They can get someone from the government being in at the factories to monitor everything that they do.
And the FAA is already there, so then how many agencies are going to be inside Boeing?
Reputational damage has been done to Boeing.
For sure.
And that's why the stock's down, too, to some degree. Grady, thank you. Now this, the University of North Carolina's Chapel Hill Board of Trustees has voted to dismantle the school's DEI programs and use the money to fund campus police. This comes on the heels of anti-Israel protests that overtook the Chapel Hill campus. Member of the UNC Board of Trustees, Marty Kotis, joins me now. Marty, what went into that decision? Look first of all at the DEI side. What went into the decision there to take money out of those programs?
Sure. You know, I'm glad to be here with you, Stuart. A lot of these DEI programs were implemented after the 2020 period of unrest. Yep. And at the same time, there were calls for defunding of the police. Part of the issue is that they're reactive, feel-good measures that did not have clear metrics. There was a lot of vilification of police, which led to difficulty in retaining and recruiting police officers, along with undue influence by politicians into police matters, resulting in a lack of law and order. And when we get to a point where we need to have a fence around the U.S. flag, something is terribly wrong.
Yeah. You pulled back on DEI and you gave money to police officers, campus police officers. I would expect you've gotten a lot of pushback on this. Have you?
Actually, we've gotten a lot of support out there for this. A lot of people feeling like the pendulum is finally swinging back. When it's considered unacceptable to misuse someone's preferred pronouns, but it's okay to scream obscenities and throw bottles at law enforcement, use a bullhorn in their faces, threaten them, push and shove and hit them, vandalize property, even tell an officer, you know, where their wife works in an effort to intimidate them. Something, you know, has gone wrong. This is Antifa, Redneck Revolt, anarchist, Democrat, socialist, are all part of these groups involved in the disturbances. They're using our students as shields for their activities, and law enforcement is used as a punching bag. But this week, the board showed that it believes more in unity than divisiveness, and that we strongly support our law enforcement. And our actions demonstrate that we also want to support a meritocracy and prevent this socialist, Marxist environment of equal outcomes. We believe in equal opportunity.
Sir, this is music to our ears. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it, and I hope you can come and see us again soon. Don't get too much pushback as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Sure thing.